All right, guys, as we saw, our objective is to identify the main idea in a text, and we went over all of the different things that we could use to find it. Remember, we're looking at titles and headings. We're looking at pictures. Sometimes the main idea is in the first or last sentence of a paragraph, and we're always looking for clue words that are used repeatedly. Now, I'm going to demonstrate to you how we are able to find the main idea by using all of those things. And I'm going to demonstrate it by reading this text on bats, okay? Now, remember, generally the title will give you the topic, which is bats. And also remember, the first sentence usually tells me what the main idea is going to be, okay? So let's begin reading and think about different ideas and see what could be the main idea. Bats they see at night. Swish! Hundreds of bats shoot out of caverns catching insects. How do they see at night? So I'm thinking of that very first sentence. How do they see at night? Perhaps the main idea is that they're going to be talking about bats and how they see at night. Don't you agree? Let's keep reading. In 1939, Donald Griffin wanted to find out. No one knew how bats could fly in the dark. Griffin set out to solve the mystery. It sounds like the rest of my text is definitely going to be talking about how bats see at night. Although we might think that we found our main idea and we don't need to keep reading anymore, we are totally wrong. It's always great to keep on reading to find details to back up the fact that we said what the main idea is. Okay, so let's keep reading. It says, sounds we can't hear. His team set up special equipment that could detect sounds that were too high-pitched for humans to hear. Sure enough, bats were not quiet when they flew. They just gave off high-pitched sounds. 200 years earlier, Italian scientists had found that even blind bats could fly well. To find out more, Griffin put plugs in the bats' ears. It caused them to bump into things. Oh my. So here it's telling us that Griffin had put plugs inside their ears because he wanted to see if they could hear at night, right? And it turns out they could. Here we go. So remember, main ideas can usually be found in the first or last sentences of my paragraph. Our first sentence told us that the rest of the paragraph was going to be about how bats could see at night, right? And we just learned that they could, and remember, those Italian scientists found out that even blind bats could fly well, okay? Here we go. We're moving on to our very last paragraph. Listening to bats. They found that bats clicked and then listened for their echo. When an echo came back quickly, it meant that something was in the way and close. By listening to the echoes of their clicks, bats could even find insects as they flew. Griffin called their special system echolocation. By studying their special use of sound, scientists had solved the mystery of how bats can fly in the dark. Wow. So, main ideas can usually be found in the first and last sentences or paragraphs. In the first sentence, it told us, how do they see at night? So, that gave me a clue in my head and told me that the main idea was going to be about how bats could see at night, right? And our last paragraph said the same thing, right? By studying their special use of sound, scientists had solved the mystery of how bats can fly in the dark. And how can bats fly in the dark? Remember, they use something special, their special system called echolocation. So not only were we able to find the main idea, but now we just learned about how bats themselves can see at night. Okay, so now that I was able to demonstrate how you can find the main idea in any text that you are reading, I want you to try and do the same thing with the text that I am going to upload onto Google Classroom. Okay, quickly before I end my video. I just want us to take a look again at our objectives and the different ways that we can find and identify our main idea, okay? Let's look at our objectives again. I can explain what is main idea and how I can find it in a text. Quickly explain to a family member at home, what is main idea? Now we said, I can apply my understanding of main idea to identify the main idea in a text that I am reading. And how is it that I can identify the main idea in a text that I'm reading? Remember, we're looking at titles and headings. We're looking at pictures. Sometimes the main idea is written in the first or last sentence, and I want you to think about your hamburger that you use to write. And the last one is to look for clue words that are used repeatedly. Now, here we go. I'm going to end this video, but I'm going to upload the example that I used, which are bats they see at night. And I also want you to take a look at the text that you will be looking at so that you are able to identify the main idea. Thank you.